What's up YouTube, Jeff back again, and today I'm feeling a little under the weather. Got a little bit of a spring cold, but we're still going to get into a new video for your Galaxy S22 Ultra. Today I am rocking the UAG beautiful camo case. If you guys are interested, I'll drop the link below to this. Also, I want to remind you guys really quickly, you can enter our March giveaway right there at the link in the description, the pinned comment. You can win a flagship device, which means an S22 Ultra if you want one, up to $500 in cash and other phones and prizes. Today I'm going to be talking about 5 things that Samsung has hidden on the Galaxy S22, S22 Ultra series, and kind of where you can find it, and also talk a little bit about why they decided to hide some of those things. There's been a lot of controversy about Samsung's integrity with benchmarks because of the game optimization services and all that stuff, but they actually bury quite a few settings, and usually it's for the betterment of their users. So first, let's talk about the processing speeds and adaptive battery. Now, processing speeds is related to the game optimization services in some way because Samsung actually kind of limits the processing speeds from draining your battery too much on purpose. They do this by default out of the box. If you go into battery and device care and you tap on battery and scroll down, it's buried pretty deep in the settings. You go to more battery settings. There's this processing speed toggle right here. And if you go in here, you'll see that it is on optimized by default. You can change this to high and get faster data processing. This can help if you have some lag or things like that. Typically, I don't really have a reason to turn this on, but if you really do notice some lag in your device, you can certainly do that. Optimized certainly gives you better battery life. I've tried turning this on as an experiment in the past. It does drain the battery life pretty bad. And if you turn it on maximum, it absolutely kill your battery life. It's just going all the time full throttle crazy for no reason. Now, this doesn't apply to games. You can manage the game performance in Game Launcher. Once we kind of do this here, this is basically just applying to regular apps, and then the Game Launcher you can change on your max settings for your game. So if you want to just have max settings for games, that makes it easy. But if you have general lag, you can change this here. There's also the adaptive battery setting, which is also enabled by default. And I sometimes find that can delay some of your notifications, particularly Google notifications like Gmail. I tend to turn this off when I'm at work during the week and I want real-time notifications and I need them. On the weekend when I'm at home, or this week I'm on spring break from my job at the university, I don't need it, so I just toggle it off. But they are hidden pretty deeply in the settings right there. Again, on purpose to try to make sure people can save their battery life, and most people will never touch those. The next thing is developer options, and I talked about developer options quite a bit in some other videos. You enable this by going into About Phone. Let me do this behind the camera so it doesn't show my phone number here. You go into software information and you tap on the build number here repeatedly. You can see I've already turned developer mode on. And then when you turn it on, right here at the bottom, you'll have developer options. Now, these are hidden on every Android phone for good reason. A lot of these options are things that you really don't want to do unless you know exactly what they do, because some of these can end up messing up your phone, like changing some of the graphics performance, can also drastically impact your battery life. Now, I showed you guys a couple of settings in here that you certainly can change with no problems, which is the window animation scale. If you want to change that to lower it, or also just turn it off completely, it makes your device appear a little snappier because the animations are gone. But there's a lot of stuff in here that you don't necessarily want to do. And even if you do force dark mode, which I also talked about in a previous video, sometimes that can cause problems in apps like Amazon. Amazon doesn't work great with dark mode. If you force dark mode, some of the text won't be readable. So you have to be willing to live with some of the consequences, and that's why this isn't turned on by default. Most people don't want to live with the consequences of some of these developer options that they might enable. The next one is Good Lock, and you guys heard me talk about this a lot, and a lot of people have asked me, why doesn't Samsung, bring Good Lock onto the phones out of the box? So here's Good Lock. Why isn't it installed by default on every phone? Well, first of all, Good Lock's only available in certain regions. I really have no idea why that is. I think it's kind of silly. You can install an APK from a third-party APK site like APK Mirror if you're out of the US or other countries where it's available. But I think the main reason Samsung doesn't install Good Lock by default is there's just so much stuff you can do with Good Lock. They don't want to overwhelm people with the number of options in the settings. There's already so many options in One UI 4.1 that including all of this stuff like extra lock screen customization, nav, clock faces, these ones that keep track of your notifications, all this stuff I've talked about. And then there's the Good Lock family of apps on the other side where you can customize your S Pen, scrolling wallpaper, icon packs. It would just overwhelm people. But this is a great app to know about if you like to customize your device. And I talked about quite a few of these things. I'm still going to go through some of the other ones like Pentastic and Keys Cafe and Edge Touch in some future videos. So stay tuned for that if you're interested. The next one is the brightness slider. And I actually talked about this in my previous video. Samsung tucks the brightness slider down at the very bottom of the notification shade. So I guess it's not super hidden, but it is hidden when you just swipe down your notifications. You no longer have the brightness slider there. You have to swipe all the way down again, and then it's at the bottom. The reason I think they do this is because they don't want people finicky with the brightness, adjusting it back and forth, because of course that has the potential to also give poor battery life. But you can change this if you want. I showed you guys how to do it last time. You go up here to quick panel layout, brightness control, show always, and then go ahead and tap done. And then you'll see that when you do that, now your brightness slider is right there above your device control media output at the top of your notification shade. So again, I think a lot of the things they do are really to make sure that battery life is solid. But some of these things, if you're a pro user, you might want to change. And the last one, I know some people are going to say this one's not hidden and everyone knows about it, but I can tell you from personal experience, it's not true, because my wife has a Galaxy S22 Ultra and she has not touched this setting yet. The casual user does not know about this, and they're just going to leave it unchanged out of the box, right? The display settings, if you go to settings, display, and scroll down, you'll see the screen resolution, and out of the box, this is actually on FHD Plus out of the box. Now that's fine, but if you want to take the full advantage of your display, you want to turn it up to WQHD Plus. And since I paid a lot for this phone, I want to take full advantage of the display, even if it draws some extra battery. But basic users, people who just use their phone, they just care about the day-to-day use as a tool, they're not going to go looking for this setting. My wife has had her S22 Ultra now for a month, just as long as I have, and I know for a fact she's still running it on FHD Plus. So this is something that is hidden for a lot of people because they're not going to go in there looking for it to change it. And again, Samsung does that on purpose because that'll also improve their battery life, which a lot of people would probably care about more. All right, guys, so there you have it. 5 features that Samsung hid kind of in plain sight, but some of them really buried in the settings on purpose because they think they're improving battery life and user performance. Of course, we as pro users sometimes want to tweak those things because that's what we do. I appreciate you guys watching the video. Again, if you want to enjoy the giveaway, you can find the link at the description and also the pinned comment. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification icon for future videos like this. I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks a lot.